And we have just witnessed a thriller between England and Croatia. We wanted to see this English team. They are one of the teams that a lot of us wanted to see at this tournament, and they did not disappoint. Tuchel started his team with Nico O'Reilly, John Stones, Emre Konsa, and Reece James in defence, Anthony Gordon, Elliot Anderson, and Declan Rice, alongside Jude Bellingham and Noni Madueke in midfield. Madueke getting the nod ahead of his Arsenal teammate Bukayo Saka, and of course Harry Kane up front. And England came out pressing. They were using that right side a lot, link up between James and Madueke, and you could see from very early in the game that that was the tact that they were going to take. And it was no surprise when the goal ended up coming through work down that right side. Corner from Declan Rice. Ball came into the box. Madueke got to the rebound first, and he was hacked down by Luka Modric just a bit late, but referee had no hesitation pointing to the spot. Harry Kane stepped up, took the penalty. It was saved. However, it was called back because the goalkeeper had stepped off his line before, and so it had to be retaken. And Kane made no mistake on the second attempt. He put it inside the far post, and it was 1-0 England. But Croatia did not give up, and they held their own. This game was not a lot built around tactical nuance. This game was back and forth in a lot of ways. Croatia, in that first half, they matched England's energy, and it was not surprising when they got their equalizer in the 36th minute. Good work down the right by Susic, who put John Stones on his backside, and then he just rolled it into the path of an onrushing Baturina, and he just hammered it. Pickford had no chance. That ball was past him before he even knew it was going past him. And just like that, it was 1-1. And that was how it stayed. And it kept like that. But 6 minutes later, Harry Kane sent England back into the lead. He was left unmarked at the edge of the 18-yard box. Corner from Declan Rice. And a powered header by Kane down into the bottom of the net. And that gave him 10 goals for England in World Cup matches, and he equaled Gary Lineker's record of 10 World Cup goals. I am sure he will pass that record before the end of this tournament. And surprise, surprise, Declan Rice, an Arsenal player, was involved in a set-piece goal. What else would we be surprised by? So that sent Croatia back into attack mode, and they kept going. They did not back off. And the second Croatian equalizer came on the stroke of halftime. It was actually at the very last kick of the half. And it was brilliant teamwork. It was just brilliant teamwork. England had sat back. They had formed two lines, and they had just stood there like cones, just waiting out the half, waiting to see if the referee was going to blow. Unfortunately for them, it was not to be. The time was not up, and Croatia had other plans. Modric lofted it into the box. Ivan Perisic nodded it down to an unrushing Peter Musa, who made no mistake from 8 yards out. And England 2, Croatia 2, and that's how the half ended. The first half statistics were basically even. 48% possession for England, 52% possession for Croatia, 9 shots for England, 2 on target, 4 shots for Croatia, 2 on target. The second half was a totally different affair. England came out and they dominated from the whistle blew. And 90 seconds into the second half, Elliot Anderson swept the ball out right from the middle of the park to Jude Bellingham. And Bellingham drove down the right with Noni Madueke running alongside him. Madueke cut inside, drawing the defenders with him, and it allowed Bellingham to continue with his run. He drove into the box and he fired inside the far post. 3-2 England. Madueke's contribution on that goal, just for pulling the defenders, cannot be overstated. England kept at it, and for the first 20 minutes of the second half, it was all England. They were all over Croatia. They had 75% possession in that first 20 minutes, and they had 10 shots on goals to Croatia's 0. And it was no surprise that Croatia's goalkeeper was the busiest player during this time. In the 55th minute, goalkeeper Livakovic made a stunning triple save. He stopped O'Reilly's header first, then a header from Anthony Gordon, then one from Konza. And all of this came as a result of another corner from Declan Rice. A minute later, he was called upon again to make a double save, this time from Harry Kane. And England were just running rampant here at this point of the game. But Croatia was lucky, and in the 71st minute, Tuchel decided to ring the changes. I don't know how lucky Croatian fans would have seen these changes, because he took out Rice, Madueke and Gordon, and he brought on Morgan Rogers, Bukayo Saka and Rashford. This was not a move aimed at wrapping up a game, aimed at solidifying the back. This was a move that was aggressive. It was attacking. And the subs were an indication of Tuchel's idea of what he wanted for the last 15-20 minutes of that game. Croatia's first shot in the second half came in the 75th minute. And Niko Pasovic drew a very good save from Pickford with a shot from the angle to the right. The second shot came a minute later with a long-range attempt from substitute Igor Matanovic, and Pickford handled that one pretty comfortably. Bellingham, who had an excellent game, he was subbed off in the 79th, and he was replaced by Tottenham defender DJ Spence. And this is where you saw Tuchel now trying to secure all 3 points, trying to tighten up 5 at the back. And you could see that, okay, we were going to just take the points here. But on one of those Croatia attacks, they lost it, and the ball was played out to the right again. All of England's danger came down that right side. You could see that that was the plan, to make the right side the side of attack, and they did it excellently. And it was from that right side that the 4th goal came. Ball went over Spence and Saka combining before Saka just drove forward and sprayed it to the left to an unmarked Rashford, who cut inside his defender and used his right foot to place it perfectly inside the far post. Great composure there. Just excellent on his part, having just come on. And that goal came completely against the run of play, because up until then, it had been all Croatia who had been trying desperately to get back into that game. But that Rashford goal basically sealed the deal. England 3 points heading into their next game against Ghana. And this English team looked really well. They looked really well put together. Tuchel had them playing at a very high level. I am still concerned about the centre-back pairing. I'm not impressed with John Stones, but we will see what happens for the next game. If he will bring Gue in instead, I doubt it. Tuchel seems to be very enamored with Stones, reason why he took him to the World Cup. But England looked very good. Luka Modric for Croatia didn't have a very good game. He was out-muscled. He was not able to keep up with the speed and the physicality of the English midfielders. And we will see what will happen in his situation as well. But until the next round of games, England, the Three Lions, they really roared today, and they are looking great going forward. So that is it for this review. And until next time, keep playing.